Excuse me. Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of Stories from the Unbound Shores. Where we last left off, the party was just about to had been working on setting up defenses for and just about to see if the Death Knight would reappear where it had been destroyed by them as one of its possible locations as to where it might come back. The party had also previously dealt with some zombies that had been raised by the Death Knight nearby that appeared to have been stalking them or trying to push past them inside the city of Stoneborough for unknown reasons. And so we're going to hop back into it with the to midnight, unless people have something they wish to do, to the raising of the Death Knight. If there are any last-minute preparations, now is the time.
Oh. I suppose that I will, if we are, we believe that this is when it should happen, so it's not like an hour from now or even 10 minutes from now, right? So casting a spell like, Shield of Faith would be prudent?
I would say so, yes.
Okay. Then yes, I will cast Shield of Faith on Lady Amelie.
Aw, you do care.
I'm paid to care.
Oh.
No,
Ooh.
I do care.
Mm-hmm. We'll see.
God.
I'm going to, not to, Dirk. Drawing my weapons, spreading my shield.
Alright, is there any other spells or things that wish to be cast? You'll see Cleric Kirk will have cast Protection from Good and Evil on himself. Or evil and good, I suppose, if you want to get nitpicky.
I don't.
I think I am going to cast Shield of Faith on myself.
Alright. Feel free to position yourselves wherever it is you'd like to, wherever it is you'd like to be adjacent to the Death Knight, presuming that he's going to come back on the spot where he's currently shown on the map. And since you guys went to the effort of trying to make some amount of cover, it will just be wherever it is you guys decide to start between you and it.
Is there a window in here? If I can...
Yeah, there would be.
then
Just
that's what-
pick one, and you can kind of hide up against the wall and poke your head out the window to shoot.
Can I retcon myself?
Sure.
Now he's a wood elf.
I'm a wood elf.
Shield of Faith off of me.
Can I cast Protection from Evil and Good instead of Shield of Faith?
Sure.
I think since we know this is undead, and I feel that would be a much more generally useful thing. Still on Lady Amelie. Although, Lady Amelie, the difference here is I will actually have to walk up to you, let you know what I'm doing, and place a hand on you.
Gross.
You.
Touch me.
If I cannot touch you, then I cannot
Does that mean
protect
she's
you.
not willing?
Unwilling. Don't touch me.
Okay.
Do
If you do
don't
not
want
want Askel to cast the spell on you, he will not. He will cast it on himself.
Good, don't touch me.
Yikes.
Don't underestimate the amount Amelie just does not like everything.
I don't think this is underestimation.
Eskel just tried to touch me. I think he underestimated.
I mean, he did inform
It's
you of
possible.
what he was doing and why.
Mm.
So, you are aware of the benefits of that spell.
You're right. I can actually roleplay that instead. So he would approach Lady Amelie and say, Lady Amelie, we are about to potentially engage in a very deadly combat with an undead, and I do have a spell which will make it very difficult for the undead to harm you, either physically or with spells. I can cast that on you if you will allow me to. It does require me to make physical contact. All you have to do is touch my hand.
Won't you touch a poor sinner's hand?
Amelie
you, Kyla.
will hold out her hand and be like, if you must.
I feel it would help. And he will simply place his hand against your extended hand, and you will feel the spell being cast. You now impose disadvantage on attacks from undead celestials and fiends. And then I will move back behind the cover that I constructed for myself in the morning.
And just as a reminder, due to poor rolls, you are only able to get cover that was about, that was only useful really if you duck down prone behind it.
Mm.
Not so much in the way of just being able to stand behind it.
Then I am going to go prone.
Eskel just flops down.
Kind of. Because even if I sacrifice 15 feet to stand back up, I can still make it to him for physical attacks.
Yes. Alright. Sorry, I'm working on something off screen at the moment.
Me too. Food.
That would probably be a good idea for me to do before y'all actually need me.
Mm.
Alright, well, I'll have to fix that in a minute. Okay, so with final preparations made, the moment of midnight shall arrive, and and for a few minutes, it will have passed. Does anyone check the urn?
Yeah, can I have that with me?
Sure.
I was gonna say, I believe Eskel had it last, so.
It's like his baby. He takes it everywhere.
Aw, how cute.
He was cooing at it once, and I think it's swaddled.
The urn?
Yeah. It's swaddled to keep the lid on.
Accurate.
What is inside the urn?
There is now nothing inside the urn.
I'm just going to say, get ready!
I ready in action to hit the Death Knight if it pops up in front of me.
I
Alright.
also ready.
Kark will be
Fire.
doing the same. He will have cast, and prior to this, he will have cast, Magic Circle. Inverted, of course, so as to keep it inside it.
Alright, what time is it?
Just after
Midnight.
midnight.
Okay, so if there are any lights inside this, I'm going to extinguish them and then hide behind the window.
Okay, then how are you seeing?
Lights outside.
Has anyone put any lights outside?
I don't believe any of us have.
Could light a
Well,
torch.
that would have been an idea.
Well, if it's dark out, I also cannot see, so I suppose I will cast light so I can see.
Now I'm doubly glad that I put protection from evil and good on her.
I mean, Amelie's probably going to be the main target regardless. They seem to have a hard on for her.
I am blessed. I got right outside the range of that.
Yeah, that was shit.
I believe that that square includes both the bright and the dim light.
Yep.
Yeah.
Alright.
That was a 7 for stealth.
A 7. Alright. As time passes, you'll all be tense, ready for battle, waiting for something to happen. And then a minute goes by, then 2, then 3, and you don't see anything happening.
God
Shit.
damn it.
Peek over the barrier I made. Is the armor still sitting on the ground?
Yep. All of the Death Knight's material possessions are still there.
Kick the armor.
Alright, please move yourself over there.
I wasn't saying I'm gonna kick the armor. Just
Oh.
saying.
Someone should kick the armor.
Yeah, go kick the armor. Yeah, skull.
Move up and poke the armor with my sword.
Alright, you poke the armor with your sword.
Is it time for me to say I told you so?
What?
I thought he would spawn elsewhere.
We accepted that that was a possibility. We felt that it was the highest priority to protect this place in case it happened here.
Since it was the only place we knew for sure was somewhere, and that we could get to in time. It is good to be able to roll this one out, though, for sure.
Oh yes. Protect the destroyed village.
More like if he respawned here, Lady Amelie, then he would move to other places quickly and probably destroy them, so we would want to be at the place where he reappeared. But the problem is now he has reappeared elsewhere, likely. Or the way this urn works is different than we originally assumed, and perhaps now there are 0 days and he will appear in 24 hours.
Could be. What are the chances, and this is Kark speaking, what are the chances he has reached his final death? From what I saw, there was incredibly powerful magic at work from the cleric with her divine intervention.
He was still walking and talking when we arrived there, Kark. And according to the information given us by representatives of the Raven Queen, he needs to perform very particular acts himself in order to receive final death. Which he did not in our presence. Could he have before we arrived? I do not know.
But then why the urn and the ashes?
I have not myself faced one of these creatures prior to now. So all of my decisions have been based on information given me by the temple via yourself and Basilisa.
I see. Well, I suppose it is too much to hope that the creature is simply gone.
I think it would be unwise to make that our operating assumption.
Indeed.
But it does seem to indicate that perhaps we should turn our sights on Elysium.
Perhaps. Do we ride tonight, or do we wait until the next day?
The day is young. We can
You've
begin
got
the
at least
journey.
8 hours.
Yep. I think we usually sleep 6 hours from now.
Yep.
Something
So
like that.
on horseback, you should be able to make it, I think. 'Cause it normally took about 12, so you'd be getting there right by the time you're ready to sleep, usually.
When you say there, do you mean the Isle of Heaven?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. When he did the identify on the urn, or whatever magic we were using to try and understand how the urn was functioning. It was, we had communed. We had communed to figure out when the creature should reappear.
Yep.
It had said within 7 days or something like that.
Yeah. Well, specifically, it had said that the creature would return, but you also know that the limits of the spell can only see out to 7 days.
And is today the last of those 7 days, or is tomorrow or the day after that?
Today is coincidentally the last of those 7 days.
Okay. And if the creature could return after those 7 days, it is reasonable to believe the spell would not have indicated that he would return.
It most likely would have stated that it was unclear or given a longer answer, as the spell is meant to generally give yes or no, but will give longer answers if just yes or no will make things more confusing or give you the wrong information.
Okay, so it is reasonable to believe that by today, by right now, should be reappearing, and that if it were midnight 24 hours from now, that would no longer be within the purview of the spell and would change the answer.
Perfect. And if you wish, I don't know if you know all this about Commune, but you could easily be having this conversation with Karik.
Right. That is kind of why I'm asking these questions, because there is a character in the scene who can answer them. So I'm working through this in the presence of the party, trying to make sure, before we set our minds to depart, that we are not risking leaving and then having the creature appear here after we've gone. Karik seems to agree that that assessment is correct, that it will not appear
Indeed.
here later. Okay.
It's his understanding that the Death Knight should either be completely... Well, no, because they asked if he'd be arising. So it is his understanding that the Death Knight is arisen somewhere in the world.
Then I would turn to the party, specifically Lady Amelie, and just say, given that this creature is still a direct threat to you and your family, I believe that you would agree in maintaining this as our highest priority for the time being, to hunt down this creature and see it stopped.
Yes.
Then I would vote in line with Karik and say we should return by horse to the Isle of Heaven and prepare for departure to Elysium as soon as possible, since that is our next most likely location, unless there is objection to that.
Out of character, have we rested yet? I forget.
No, this is still like during our normal day.
Well, if any of your like if your hit points are not at max, they should be, because you guys have had a few days, which would include some long rests
Oh yeah,
between the zombie
just
fight.
meant for the sake of exhaustion and things like that.
Yeah, for the sake of exhaustion and things like that, you should be free and clear, because all of that was handled before the zombie fight, and you've had a few days since then. Let me see here. So with that, you guys head out pretty much immediately, from my understanding.
Mhm.
All right, 1 second while I get this next map fixed the way it's supposed to be. I thought I had done this in advance. I was incorrect. That's weird. Okay. I'll have to figure out why that is later. You guys can feel free to talk amongst yourselves, as you would have plenty of time on your way back. As it is not a short journey.
Mostly, I just hope that this doesn't lead to the suffering of many more people, since we do not know where this creature will appear and what he will do when he does. That's Eskel's, primary concern, and he seems to fixate on this during the ride.
Now that the creature is back, is there any divination we can use to determine whether or not it is in fact in Elysium, or if it had risen somewhere else?
That's a great plan. We can ask that directly with Commune, right, Karek?
We should be able to, and I see no reason why not. It's a ritual I've yet to use today.
We could at least completely eliminate 3 places with yes/nos. We could ask if it is here, we could ask if it is on Elysium, and we could ask if it is on the landmass which contains Steelport, the name for which I do not recall.
Stonefell.
Stonefell. What's the name of this landmass?
The one, the southern one?
Yeah.
I don't remember if I've named it.
Oh, okay. Well, there.
If somebody wants to make suggestions, I'm more than open. But, weird.
I only have names of countries and islands from media I've recently read in my mind. Not suggest those.
Okay. Sounds reasonable.
Give me. Let me make sure I'm not stealing this from something. You never know.
No, you don't. The first time I named my world, I was stealing it from something, and I think at the time when I had named it, I knew that, but then years later forgot that, and was reminded.
I recently named a character after a zone in World of Warcraft on accident.
Nice. You're a place.
Kalmathir.
What's that
Good
name?
name.
Will be shot It starts with a V.
Starts with a what?
A V.
A V. You do like that letter, don't you?
I do.
It's okay. I like the letter A. I use it a lot in the words I make up.
Alright. So I suppose I didn't...
Go for it.
Just want to make sure I have a minute.
You can have a minute. I need to adjust this map that is refusing to cooperate.
As it do.
What the heck are those dead things? Horses? Are they dead?
No.
Ooh. They're just standing at an angle.
They look weird.
They're potato horses.
It's horses
They're
from
like gross
above.
chicken horses.
Why are you being mean to our horses?
Besides,
They're good horses.
this one's the best horse. No, he's gone.
I mean, they kind of look like little, like, I don't know, feed troughs almost, with heads and tails. I'm sorry, I'm gonna go pee now.
Uh-huh.
Did we ever name the horse?
She bashes our horses and fucking leaves, of course.
Potato
I don't.
horses.
I assume that the horses have names, so I don't think the players named the horses.
Yeah, it was Jake and something.
God, I remember now. They have white men names.
Jake can be a horse name.
It's a white man. He's Jake from State Farm.
Stop.
Jake from
It's
State
our
Farm's
khaki
black.
horse.
Or his saddlebags khaki.
I mean, his fur was khaki.
Fucking damn it.
That was the joke, and then Derek said he'd never name anything ever again.
Something like that.
Where did you rent your horses from? State Farm?
Stable Farm.
I mean, most farms have stables, so I guess good on them for acknowledging that and naming their farm.
They wouldn't know it. No way. No, state existed as a thing.
I'm just making fun of them.
Alright. So you will have arrived at the Isle of Heaven. It's rather late, so you'll be able to have gotten much closer before you'll hear someone call out, "Who goes there?"
Cleric Karek of the Raven Queen, Paladins Eskel and Dirk of Bahamut and their entourage,
Entourage.
and Vasilisa of the Raven Queen. Sorry, I really should have included that. I apologize.
That wasn't me who was offended.
No, but I am sad that I missed that. So, clerics Karek and Vasilisa of the Raven Queen, Paladins Eskel and Dirk, Bahamut, and their
We
entourage.
even never come up with a group name? I'm pretty sure we did.
We were rejected.
You're right. We are the
Oh.
witless assholes.
I'm going to stomp you to death with my horse's hooves.
Stomp him to death with those heels, are you kidding me?
Exactly. With my
Combat heels.
hooves.
God damn it! That wasn't supposed to encourage you!
I'm gonna stomp you with my hooves.
There you go. I
That
didn't know a horse could do that.
So, what business do you have here? It's late. We're not supposed to be opening the gate.
Isn't it like 6 a.m.?
Right, so I forgot. That's my bad.
Yeah, we're at like
Fast travel
dawn
is
here.
confusing.
They're opening
Been
up.
open for like an hour.
Might have been like a queue.
We're not taking orders for another hour. It's like, please, can we get in?
please, we need to sleep.
Pull around to the next
Sir, this is
window.
a
Gosh
Wendy's.
darn it!
Most gates open at dawn.
Alright. So instead of that, you'll just get... Alright. Open the gate. Guess we're starting early this morning.
6 a.m. is early. I look at Dirk, like, Weren't we doing exercises at like 4:30 some days?
Not everyone has the what's the word that I am looking for?
Wherewithal?
Discipline.
Stamina? Discipline.
Disposition?
Not everyone has the discipline of a disciple of Bahamut, unfortunately.
It just sort of closes his eyes and shakes his head. I believe we all need rest, but after that, Karik, shall we meet at the Temple of the Raven Queen?
We can.
Oh, commune, we can do that first.
Yes, we should. That way, I can. If I'm about to rest, I can just do this quickly.
Must we travel
But-
across the city to your temple and do that, or can you do it in any of these temples? Since they're to a different god.
I can do it anywhere, but to keep from disturbing the peace, it would be best if done in my own temple.
God in the city of the gods.
Well, it's just rather loud. It's not the actual action.
I guess that's true. There is a booming voice from the sky and all that.
That does have some.
I just imagine it's something that happens frequently. The people around here are used to it by now. There's just a lot of people around who talk to the gods.
There are places set up in most temples for use of such spells so as not to bother the public, but it does get put to use quite often.
Oh, okay. Let's go. Let's hurry. I'm tired. He immediately turns to Marty. I'm sorry. I'm just tired.
Oh. That's not what I meant to do.
Being tired is understandable, don't worry.
I'm tired, and the sun is coming up. And the sun is up.
Alright, well,
And now my
if you
skin
guys-
hurts.
You guys have your tokens, right?
Yeah.
Yes. Boof. Teleportation.
So you guys will make your way across the city. Alright.
Poof. Teleportation.
Dirk does wait behind Lady Amelie to make sure that she gets there.
She's ready to take a break for it, man.
We would not want her getting lost in the city.
Mhm.
Shit, nobody waited behind the Thanon.
He's fine. He'll figure it out.
I've been here before.
Wow.
What'd you say, Thomas?
I've been here before.
True.
He's a grown man. Help me.
I'm just gonna make my way around.
He also
slowly.
does not have a wanted bounty on his head, essentially.
Do I have a horse? Am I riding a horse? Are we all on horses? Or are we...
You would have needed to stable them.
Oh, well then, I'm strolling after them, taking my time, making note of the layout.
Just imagine Escal's like speed walking like, let's get this done.
Yeah.
Shading his
So-
eyes a lot.
So you guys all get over there. Thanon shows up like half an hour later. Would you have waited for Thanon, or would you have just started without him?
I mean, how long does the thing take? 10 minutes?
He's willing to just cast it as an action because he has spell slots left he can burn since he's about to go to sleep.
We should wait for Thanon so that we don't have to repeat the information.
Alright. So Thanon appears, just strolling through the gate.
Nice of you to join us, Lord Thanon.
You're welcome.
You'll see Kark will have kind of nodded off a little bit while waiting for Thanon to show up. Not used to late nights. Are you ready to get started?
I believe so.
Alright. As this is pertaining to your mission, he'll nod kind of more specifically to Vasilisa. I'll let you guide the questions, so just tell me what to ask once I've cast it.
Oh, Eskel's more of our chatty Cathy.
Fine by me. And he'll cast the spell. And you'll kind of hear a loud voice say, a loud feminine voice say, what are your questions, my child?
Know if the Death Knight, known as start with an A.
Atlas.
Atlas. The Death Knight, known as Atlas, is a... How specific do I need to be about, like, who he is, or is that enough?
He'll say that should be enough.
Okay. So Death Knight, known as Atlas, is... ask if he is an Elysium, ask if he is, whatever this country, continent's name is, or ask if he is on Stonefell.
Alright. First up, it's Death Knight known as Atlas on Elysium. And he'll ask this in Celestial. Who else speaks Celestial here?
I think
I know.
I do.
I do not.
Nope.
I don't believe I.
Just look at Dirk, close his eyes, and shake his head.
I don't have Celestial or
Oh, I
Draconic.
do
I'm a bad
have
paladin
Celestial.
of Bahamut.
God damn it.
He came into the paladinhood late in life, surprisingly late in life.
It's okay. I don't speak Draconic.
I have Celestial.
Alright, those of you that speak Celestial will hear a reply of yes. Well, hear and understand. And I should have clarified that the first phrase was also spoken in Celestial.
Eska looking very surprised at the yes. We'll say, forget the other two questions. Hold on. It is or is not Kark that is asking the questions.
Correct.
It is.
He both has to ask them and ask them in Celestial so he can talk to you to clarify things.
What is the name of the more specific region that is contested in Elysium? Ask if he's there.
Let's see. Most of Elysium is kind of unnamed somewhat purposefully.
Where are you sending your clerics and paladins?
We have a base camp set up near the teleportation circle, not far from the capital city. Let me check what it says in the map.
Then name that capital city. Ask if he's near there, or in there, or within, I don't know, 50 miles of the capital city. Miles is a day's ride. I think. That's right.
Is the Death Knight known as Atlas within 50 miles of the city known as Alzid? You'll get a reply of no.
Are there any other landmarks you know there?
There's the Dwarven City, but that's not too far from Alzid. There's also the Mage's Tower, which is a bit more centrally located.
100 miles of the Mage's Tower? 50 miles of the Mage's Tower? I turn to the party, guys. We're trying to localize where he is so that to make our search faster.
I mean, I'd put money on the Mage's Tower, probably.
Okay, how small do we want that area to be to, like, exclude other things? Within a 50-mile circle, within a 100-mile circle, within a 10-mile circle?
If you put it with. Let me.
What's the distances on that map?
Let me pull you guys over to the big map so you can have a bit more informed decisions here.
Okay,
So Alzid's labeled, and then there's a kind of stone building that's on the path near the center of Elysium. That's the Mage's Tower.
So one of these segments down here is 200 miles. So there's like 225, 250 miles between the Mage's Tower and Alzid, if I'm understanding this legend correctly.
Correct.
Okay.
What is that
Admittedly,
the
legend I've been
left?
sticking to somewhat poorly, but I intend to try and stick to it better here in the future.
Yes, Kyla?
What is that structure to the left?
This?
Yeah.
It is an abandoned fortress that was last known to be kind of festering with other creatures that had attempted to be a dwarven attempted expansion, but it had failed.
What kind of other creature?
Most don't know, as it's kind of out deep in the woods, not with easy access and dangerous to get to.
Did the dwarves try to play God again?
I mean, or it was already inhabited with these creatures, just that nobody has any intel on what they are is very troubling, and are we certain they're staying inside that ruin?
Well, it's the creatures is more hearsay than anything. There's no way to know if there's anything actually there. It's just kind of ghost stories, more or less, that come up with creatures. And you'll hear this from Karak, because he has been informed on as much of Alzid as, well, not Alzid, but on Elysium as he can be, as he's kind of the conduit for knowledge here.
Okay. So we know that the 50-mile circle around Alzid is clear. We know that the Dwarven city is about 200 miles away, and we know that the Mage's Tower is about 250 miles away. There's also another structure down south.
Yeah, it's another smaller city I have yet to name.
Okay. Can we just stick with 50 miles around Mage's Tower, and then if it's not there either, that still leaves us the majority of Elysium to explore, unfortunately, but at least those areas will be... Do I just expand it to like 300 miles?
I mean, that's a lot.
Yeah, it is, but it will let us know if he's closer to the edge of the continent or not.
Yeah.
300.
And sure to get the answer of no, you'll have cut down a significant portion of where you need to search.
Yeah, if we choose like 400 miles, that eliminates, and the answer is no, that eliminates the entire northern portion, almost the entire east coast, and leaves only the southern coast, and the southeast corner of the coast out there.
The spell is waning. I'll need an answer, like a question to ask soon.
I'm going to say to the party, I'm going to say 400, within 400 of the Mage's Tower. Objections?
No objections here.
Okay, no objections. 400 miles of the Mage's Tower.
He'll wait a couple seconds to see if there's, give people time to speak up. And with that, he'll ask, is the Death Knight known as Atlas, within 400 miles of the Elysium Mage's Tower? And let me double check the ruler here. Yes.
Is that what the god was saying?
Yeah, the yes is what the god is saying.
The god was measuring the distance.
Hold
God's
on,
like,
hold on. I
wait.
have a ruler here somewhere. Oh, hold on. I think
Giant
I need a
celestial
protector too.
ruler. Oh dear.
It's been so many years since algebra class.
Get my giant calipers out.
You just see these big metal tines drop from the sky. Well, that is the unfortunate answer, but, hey, at least we don't have to search the southern coast.
Well,
This is true.
should you be able to convince the commander of the war effort of the importance of your mission, I'm sure he'd be able to lend some of his ability to commune to this effort as well once you've arrived.
Rascal nods. Says, I think that's our limit. Shall we find a place to turn in?
Al
day.
will nod. I think that would be a really good idea.
Before you go, while it's not always work when cast in succession, the answers are still always true if I do get an answer. I can try using commune a couple more times tonight to give you a few more questions, as this is a matter of the most importance.
Thank you. Your temple will be able to send us to Elysium when we return.
We should be able to pool our funds to afford either a wizard or a wizard and a scroll to be able to get you to Elysium.
Very well. We're going to place to stay for the day and sleep. Thank you for your efforts on our mission over the last several days.
As you wish.
So I was going to extend a hand in thanks.
He'll put out his hand, although there'll be a somewhat confused look on his face that's going to somewhat match mine. So do you not wish for the additional communing tonight? Not communing.
I mean, we're going to go sleep the next 8 hours. And this is something that took seconds to cast, and only less reliable to do it. If we could wait till after that, and that would be beneficial to you.
It does not become... The answers themselves do not become less reliable. It is whether or not I get an answer at all. But it is up to you.
Alright. I can think of 3 more questions if you wish to try one more time. Does anyone else have any particular questions they can think of? I have some in mind if you don't. Please.
Talk this over. I'm going to sit down for a moment.
We may have a chance to ask 3 more questions, so I'm thinking to narrow the search on that place of unknown monsters, and I'm thinking to find out if the Raven Queen can divine his intentions, if he intends to leave again from Elysium in the near future.
We still have that time restriction
Yeah.
for his intent to leave.
It's still commune, so it can still only look about a week into the future.
Should the
I
question
personally-
instead be making preparations to leave? Instead of just leaving?
If we ask if he will leave, and the answer is no, then we know that we have 7 days to find him at minimum. But he could already be making preparations to leave. If the answer to that one is yes, we don't know what that really means. If the answer to will he leave within the next 7 days is yes, then he could leave 5 minutes from the time the question is asked, but it also means that we know we have at maximum 7 days to locate him. We could also ask simply if he has the means to leave Elysium, which would, an answer of yes, would mean that he could teleport instantly, or it could mean that he could find, over the course of the next 7 days, a boat to take him. There's vagueness inherent in the answers, but it will at least help us narrow things down.
I personally don't believe I have any questions.
Lady Emily, is there anything in particular you would want to know about this person? We could ask something specific to his character. Anything that might help us determine what we need him to atone for in order to stop him, perhaps.
Perhaps.
The answers all come in the form of yes, no, but we could ask if he was the son of any particular branch or something like that, if that information would help you know what happened historically. Or just, was his crime many murders? No. Okay, his crime was something else. I don't know, I'm spitballing here. If you don't have anything particular to ask, that's okay.
Yeah, I'm tired. I can't really think of anything right now.
Basilisa?
I have nothing.
Lord Thenon?
No, I can't think of anything.
Nick?
I think anything that is narrowing down his location and how long he will be in said location is useful.
And I will go to Karik and nudge him awake again.
He would have been awake because it wouldn't have been as long this time. But he would have definitely been, sitting down and resting somewhat.
The first question to ask, I think. We will further narrow down our search. If you could cast your spell and inquire if he is within 50 miles of whatever name you use for that mysterious place that the dwarves found.
I know not its true name. Hopefully, its colloquial one will do. It's referred to as the Forgotten Fortress.
Please try.
Alright, I do not have percentile dice with my DM set, so
I
who
do.
wants to roll it?
I've
That's
asked for
probably
this.
breaking.
Up to me to screw us.
You just need like 2d10.
I got a 34.
1d10.
34. That is just high enough, because it's only a 25% failure rate on the first one.
Okay.
So you'll hear once again, uh, you know, a somewhat thinner voice saying celestial. What are your questions, my child?
It's the Death Knight known as Atlas, within 50 miles of the within 50 miles of the location referred to as the Forgotten Fortress on Elysium.
He will repeat your wording verbatim, and you'll hear the answer, yes.
I'm gonna smile at Dirk. Does the Death Knight known as Atlas possess the means by which to leave Elysium within the next 7 days?
Yes.
Does the Death Knight known as Atlas tend to leave Elysium within the next 3 days?
Unknown. That which he seeks may find him first.
I think I understood that. Okay. That's all we got.
I don't think you'll get much more with this spell for what you're looking for.
I think we got everything we need. Thank you, Karek.
He'll nod. Now, to get out of this armor and get some rest.
Indeed. There are inns, but do I have any notion that we might be able to put everyone up at the Temple of Bahamut?
You
If not, we can just go to an inn.
You know that there might be space. You know that recently a number of people have returned to the temple, so the bunks may be a bit full at the moment.
Alright, we'll just go to an inn. That's fine.
Yeah. There are, let me pull up the city map again. As a native to the, well, practically a native to the island, you would be aware that there are several inns, although there is one inn near the front of town referred to as the only inn, as that's what they decided to call it.
The other inns must be quite upset about that decision.
Little bit. There's been a few fights.
Is the only inn very good?
It is quite nice. It's got some high quality rooms and kind of more middle of the road stuff for the lower paying travelers. But it's sizable, and it is front very upfront for anyone new arriving in the city. So they do positioning, and their rather underhanded naming conventions have attracted most of the business.
Is there another inn that is perhaps very comfortable, but not seeing the customer base that it deserves?
Yes, there's probably. Let me see.
Can it be called the Stumble Inn? That's always been my favorite name.
You know what? Sure.
There's one near my hometown, okay? And I've always fucking loved it.
That's a good name.
It will be not far from the whatchamacallit?
Yeah.
The Temple of Morden.
Very well. If they are a worthy business, and deserving of more coin than they receive, then I would like to give them our business.
It could be either like this building or maybe this one up here.
This one looks nice. Oh, I can't ping this map for some. I can't ping today.
Weird.
Yeah.
That is weird.
I can still control my character, so that's not the problem.
All right. Well, you can place your character then where you would like the inn to be.
That one's nice and tall. Fancy. Alright, stop showing off, you jerk.
I'm just trying to pick a color.
So many little blips everywhere.
Blip, blip,
Yeah,
blip.
blip. I'm so sad.
Blip.
There's so many colors.
Sam.
Oh my goodness.
What's going on with that dancing knife there?
He's doing basketball defense.
It's not a knife, it's
Oh
a
my
dirt.
Oh my god.
Still have yet to put a beard on the picture,
I
but
hate you all.
Hey, it was Sam's idea.
Never mind, I've changed my mind. I quit. I am, of course, kidding.
It had to be done.
Good enough. I will fix the spelling later.
The stumble in. Do it.
So you guys arrive at the Stumble Inn. You'll see a surprisingly perky desk clerk. Go, how can I help you this morning?
I'm going to need a room for, at the very least, myself, my friend, putting it Dirk. I imagine, Lady Emily, you wish to pay for your own room?
Yes.
Vasilisa, of course, you're welcome to join me and Dirk. Same to Al, Lord Thenon, but I understand if that is not the desire. But if that is something you're comfortable with, I can pay.
I wouldn't mind, Vaz.
I'm fine with it.
Yeah. Then a room for 4, and then those 2 can handle themselves.
All right. Welcome to the Stumble Inn. I shall get you booked right away for a room for 4. That will for how many nights?
Just today.
Just today.
We wish to use it immediately if it's available.
I see. We should have something available. Let me see, and she'll kind of start looking through a record book, basically. It's like, here we are. You said you wanted just one room for the 4 of you, correct?
Yes.
Right, so the larger rooms are a little more expensive. So a little more expensive when counted per room, but cheaper when counted per person. So that shall be 3 gold for 1 night.
Very well. Place 3 gold on the counter.
Thank you. I should kind of look up, and just like 1 moment, she'll kind of get up, go into the back, like base, and go and like grab the key, and hand out 2 copies.
I will take them and hand the other to Vasilisa.
I've heard of you being around, but I've never seen you in here before. What?
Normally, I can stay at my temple, but now I am traveling with friends, and there isn't enough room with some of the paladins and clerics returning from on mission. And I've heard a lot of good things about the Stumble Inn. I wanted to give it a try.
Well, thank you. And we've heard a great number of good things about you. Of course, I might have panicked.
Ah, well, I suppose I did make somewhat a splash when the Temple of Bahamut took me in, but I'm glad that word is getting round.
Yes, there have been a number of acolytes that have been sent around more or less praising your good deeds. Seems someone has gone to great lengths to make sure you're well accepted here.
It's probably my mentor. Srazar is always looking out for me. In any event, it's a pleasure to make your acquaintance. You may call me Eskel, Paladin of Bahamut.
You may call me Aurora.
Aurora, the honor's mine.
Well, seems you're quite tired, so I guess I'd better get to the next guest.
Thank you.
She'll look at the, she'll look at Lady Amelie. How can I help you?
Your best room, please.
Alright, that will be 1 platinum.
This is out of character. Fucking excuse me?
Here comes the ego hit.
If you haven't got the platinum, you can always use 10 gold.
Oh, that's the same thing?
Yeah, 1 platinum
Oh.
is equal to 10 gold pieces.
Okay, then. I'm sitting here like, what the fuck, dude?
Yeah.
This room better be, like, coated in gold.
I mean,
So, yeah.
So I can make my money
it's
back?
literally like the entire top floor of the inn.
You got
Oh, hell yeah, bitch! I got the
Mhm.
presidential suite. Let's go.
Yeah. You're like practically renting an apartment for a day.
That's ridiculous. I love it.
But yeah, when he says platinum, he means 1 platinum piece, and that's 10 gold pieces, 1 gold piece is 10 silver. They're just 10 of the denomination below them.
And then you get to see Electrum, and it just is like, why would you do that?
Why would you do that?
Why?
It's not a thing. It does not exist in my world.
Even old coinage. It's usually where you would only ever find
Like,
Electrum. It's
I
like very
think
old
there-
places.
I think there are like a couple like wizard towers that might have it just because they made it by accident when trying to transmute something.
Let's go. Just combine some silver and some gold and make something worth half as much as a gold piece.
Yeah, that's more or less what happens when someone goes and accidentally melts their coin pouch.
How does one accidentally melt a coin pouch other than, like, angering a dragon?
Fireball?
In which case, you know.
having teammates with fireball.
Okay, fine.
For example, warlock, sorcerer, wizard, cleric, druid, bard. Like half the classes in the game.
My
There's a lot of
poor
people.
cleric is so scarred.
I think only an Arcana cleric can cast fireball.
No, light clerics can.
Ah,
She's scarred from somebody else using fireball, though.
I think everybody. I think there are a lot of people who've been scarred by somebody else using fireball. I'm thinking of Ryken right now.
Yeah,
Way later.
It's
Yeah.
true.
I think he's been hit by 2 friendly fireballs. Friendly
Too much.
fireballs. Sam, friendly fireballs.
I think it was just Riken, and then I think it was also Kikaze because he got hit when mine went through the mirror and like rebounded.
Anyway. 1 platinum piece for the presidential suite.
Yeah, I'll slide 10 gold coins on the table.
Very well. She'll pick those up, and you'll see her kind of put them into a small sack, and there's just kind of set it on the on a shelf behind the counter. 1 moment while I get your key. She'll step back and bring the money with her into the back room and grab the key and bring it out to you.
The key is gold-plated and encrusted with jewels.
Better be.
And how might I help you, sir?
A room.
Sir Arum.
Sir, a room. Okay. Which room would you like? Sadly, the presidential suite is currently occupied.
It's fine. Then I turn. Are the rest? Nobody's left yet, have they?
I did. I gave a key to Vaz, and I headed up. I imagined the others followed me. I don't know if they did.
Dirk would have gone.
I would have followed you.
Absolutely would have abandoned them.
So
I would
it's
have definitely followed.
at most it's you and Lady Amelie, but I think she's leaving now too.
Yeah.
I imagine we're leaving tomorrow anyway. So, what do you have available?
We have some nice rooms on the second floor. Meant for 1 to 2 people, depending on how
Single.
close the two are.
Saucy.
I'll take a single.
All right. That will be 1 gold.
Put a gold onto the counter.
Thank you, sir. She'll pick up the gold and go and get your room key.
I look around. Is there anyone else in here?
There would probably be a couple people eating breakfast.
Nobody's doing anything except eating. Okay, then I'll take the key and I'll.
I mean, there's probably
Awesome.
one person getting some, hair of the dog.
There's dogs in this hotel, and I just paid a platinum for this room.
Most people are allergic to dogs.
So I'm just going to take the key and head out.
Hard ignore my joke, alright?
I
don't
built
know
on
how
your
else
joke.
to do. All right, so you guys are up in your rooms. Do you have anything you wish to discuss, or shall I fast forward to the next morning?
Gonna be the next morning, or is
next
it gonna be
evening.
tonight?
Yeah, I guess the next evening. Sorry, I'm gonna. It's gonna take some adjusting for me to get used to the you travel at night thing.
Yeah, baby. Alright, so, 8 hours from approximately 6 a.m. is approximately 4 p.m.
All right, so yeah, kind of next late afternoon.
Right, not 2 p.m., sorry, 14. 2 p.m.
I thought you arrived at 6. Isn't it now later than 6?
Yeah.
Let's. Yeah, that's true. So let's call it like 7:30 now.
Oh, okay. In any event, then that will,
As soon
it's
as I wake
15
up, I'm going to
half.
get dressed and go downstairs.
so yeah, 3:30, it's between 3:30 and 4.
Oh, did we already do the time skip?
We're gonna, unless there's something you want to do in the middle, we're just kind of sleeping. Or resting, I think I trans.
Oh, well. If everybody's resting and Amelie has an entire room to herself that none of you are in, I'm gonna leave the inn. And I'm not gonna tell anybody.
Dirk just rolls over in his sleep. It seems like Dirk is having a nightmare to anyone around him, but
I'm trans.
this is not a restful sleep, and he's not gonna know why.
Do be aware that at this point you're working past the normal time when you would want to sleep, so you'll probably have to roll against exhaustion.
Mm. I mean, I'm not gonna be gone long.
Yeah, she has a couple hours that would normally be devoted to like watch or something that she can walk around.
Alright. Well, I'm trancing.
I am also.
The elves.
All right, so um, Merp, do you want this to be public, or shall we use the GM closet for you to have your little adventure?
Oh no, it's fine. I mean, just you guys don't know about this. Just pretend you don't know.
We don't know.
Good. Exactly.
Did you get up before I did?
I don't think she went to sleep.
No, I never went to sleep. I went up to my room.
Ah,
I waited, and now I'm leaving.
Yep.
All right, where is it that you would like to go?
The temple.
so
Yeah.
how is the inn laid out? Would she? 'Cause I have 20 passive perception. Would I
Well,
have heard her?
while you have a lot of passive perception, I don't know of a reason that you would distinguish one person walking down a hallway from another.
It is now daytime when people are going to be moving about more frequently.
Yeah, that's what I was asking about. Well, how the inn was laid out.
And besides, you paid for one of the nicer rooms, so it would be a bit further away from like the main stairwell, so you'd be able to
Okay.
not. You wouldn't be hearing as much foot traffic.
That's fair.
So am I good to like just walk out?
Yep, I don't see any reason why this shouldn't work.
Cool. I'm going to. I think it was the Temple of Pelor. Pelor. I don't know how to pronounce it.
Yeah, Palor.
Yeah.
That would be number 11 on the map, so not far from here.
Perfect.
You could probably make it there in like, 10, 15 minutes.
Later, nerds.
Alright. So you'll be greeted by clerics. Welcome to the Temple of Pelor. How may we help you?
Hang on, I gotta remember what what exactly it is I'm requesting again.
Here comes the sun. Do 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 do.
Okay, yeah, there's the spell. It's the cleric has that spell that I need, right, Derek?
Mhm.
Cleric of Pelor would.
Yep.
Okay.
He would.
Okay, cool. Then I'm going to say, I need the assistance of a cleric discreetly.
Alright. Well, I am a cleric here. What is your need that's so discreet?
Are we like still in the lobby?
So, well, I'll say this as he starts kind of leading you off to the side where you'd have a bit more privacy. I think we should have at least one treatment room that's currently empty if you'd wish to talk in there instead.
Yes.
He'll kind of lead you back to the back, and this is a place generally for more mundane treatment, but that also means it's, place where people could, like, sit and rest and things, so it would be empty, aside from the two of you.
Okay.
Oh my god.
What?
Nothing, continue.
Okay. All I need is just for you to use a lesser restoration spell on me.
All right. Let me check lesser restoration and see if it actually has to, if they need to be at all specific about what it is they're trying to cure.
Pretty sure that was the right spell we went with.
Yep, that should be the right one. I just need to double check how it functions. Lesser restoration. Here we go. All right. And what is, since it can be in one disease or condition afflicting the creature, I think they have to know which one it is they're trying. Well, they don't have to know, but it
I don't think they
helps.
have to know anything.
Oh, do they have to know?
I don't have to, but it would. It does help.
Just fucking cast the spell, bro.
So, what is it that's ailing you that I might be able to be a bit more specific with my spell?
Do you need to know to use it? To use the spell?
To know that it will work as intended, yes, but I can try without if it is of too personal a nature.
It is. I will know if it worked or not, so don't worry yourself about that.
Okay, he now assumes it's some sort of STD, but that's a whole other issue. As I'm sure there are some who come with that issue.
Look, if he says anything that's a HIPAA violation, I'll just ice knife him.
I got the D&D clap.
STD&D.
Oh no! Why would you do that?
No.
Oh dear.
No.
I wasn't really listening, and now, oh dear.
Why have you done this?
So, he'll place a hand on your. Well, actually, beforehand, he'll ask. Well, no, it'll probably just wouldn't work like that. So, yeah, he'll.
Touch my hand.
I need to place my hand on your shoulder for this to cast this. Would that be all right?
Very well.
Alright, so he'll place a hand on your shoulder and cast Lesser Restoration. Now, as this was a lower spell, we don't generally ask for payment up front, but a donation is always would always be accepted.
I will slide him 4 gold coins.
Okay.
Is that okay, or?
You would be aware that magic is generally something viewed as expensive.
Is it? Okay, is 4 not enough?
4 would be seen as a bit on the low end.
Shit, I was just trying to get an even number on my money.
10 could work.
Fine, I'll slide him 10 gold coins.
If you're removing 4, you started with an even number.
Oh, I have 14 gold right now. I wanted to get to 10.
Well, I'm sure you'll get money someplace else.
Yep, I'll slide him 10 gold coins. Oh, whoops, I clicked add instead of removed, idiot. 20.
And for the record, that's still fairly cheap, but you know that it would be considerably cheaper here, where there's just a larger quantity of healing magics. But other places, it would be significantly more expensive.
Woo! Good thing I came here. I'll have a little more money on me. Alright.
Alright. Thank you. Do you need me to see you out, or do you know the way?
I know the way, thank you.
And now he's thinking that you frequent the place.
Fuck! No, I mean, literally, we walk to a room from the I just have to get back to the lobby. Like, it shouldn't be that hard, right?
Right, I'm just giving you a hard time because I can, sorry.
The fuck was worth it.
Regular, I see.
Alright, so you are going to just return to the inn, I presume? Alright, so you should be able to do this with all still being within kind of the 2-hour time limit that would be associated with watch, so you should be able to get back to rest without taking an extra amount of time.
Nice. And nobody even knew I was gone. Smile.
Alright, so, we're gonna call it 3:30 or so. So that rolls around, and you guys will begin to start waking up from your various rooms, where, Amelie's got, basically a whole floor to herself with a bed big enough she could make, snow angels in it.
Only the best for the best.
I'm reading that book that we found in that one house. I believe it had a bunch of star charts in it.
Yep. And I keep forgetting to write anything for it. For that, I am sorry.
I'm learning about astronomy.
Al would cock her head. What you reading, Eskel?
Astronomy.
Ooh.
Person, I presume, sadly lost their life in that town, Stoneborough, an astronomer. They took many notes on the movements of the heavens.
I assumed so, due to the fact that we found their observation room.
Indeed, but they
Mind if I...
kept a log filled with their observations and inferences.
Once you're done with it, do you mind if I take a look?
Stand up from the bed, walk over and hand her the book. Says, "You can take a look now. I'm going for a jog."
You sure?
I'll recollect it when I come back.
Okay. Have fun.
Leave my armor in the room, but I'm gonna go for a run.
Alright. Are you running any place in particular, or are you just running around?
I imagine that I'm going to do laps, maybe just put in a mile or two. That shouldn't be.
Alright.
I don't want to spend more than an hour on this, so...
Al would take out her notebook and take him important looking. Like, if it seems important, she'll mark it. In her own journal.
Okay. So, Eskel, as you get near the end of your jog, you'll hear someone call out to you. Eskel! Eskel!
Yes?
He'll be...
I'll slow down so I can catch up.
Be kind of, panting to catch up. But, yeah. You'll see that he is kind of that he's wearing the kind of acolyte robes of the Temple of the Raven Queen. I was sent to find you. Seems you've been running around town, quite literally. We've found a mage to contract to use a scroll of teleportation to get you to Elysium.
Oh, that's excellent news. I'm going to go meet up with my team and bring them to the Temple of the Raven Queen once I finish my run. Shall I meet you there, or do you want to come with?
I'll meet you at the temple. Once
Okay.
I catch my breath.
Bahamut, guide your steps.
The mage will be there as well.
Who?
The mage that we've contracted.
Excellent. I look forward to meeting them.
They'll still require your half of the payment, though, before they'll be ready to do anything.
I'm gonna stop. Do you need to collect it from me now?
Not now, but then, just so you're aware.
Alright, good.
Yeah.
I didn't bring my money with me. Anyway, he would have had to accompany me back to my inn. Alright, I will meet you with my team, and the mage, and the money, at the Temple of the Raven Queen in less than an hour.
Alright, we'll be there.
Okay.
How to go find her.
Get a drink before you go. Of water!
And it hadn't leaped out at you at first, but this man's somewhat is somewhat pudgy, so you're not quite sure if it was just to get him some exercise, or if it was some type of cruel joke to have what was possibly the largest man there running around town trying to find people.
I'm sure that it was all intended for, to make him better. I'm going to finish my run and go back to the inn to collect my stuff and my friends.
Alright. Yeah, so you can arrive back at the inn and gather people as you wish. Yeah.
Yes, and I will go back to my room and put my armor on. Dirk, would you still be in the room at this time? It's a bit after when more people would mostly be waking up, I guess. Since Al already...
He would probably still be in the room taking care of armor and weapons and making things
Alright, so
nice and...
help each other out with that.
Yeah.
Baz, time to wake up.
Right. Buzz is not a waking up person.
No, she's not.
What cruel misfortunes befall us today?
Mostly the sun.
Accurate.
Elysium?
I was visited by a member of the Temple of the Raven Queen who says that they have located a mage who can take us there, and we are to meet with them just as soon as everyone is ready. I will head downstairs to await the others.
Delightful.
I'll help Boz get ready.
I'd be trying to get her out of bed.
I mean, you
Roll
needn't
desperately.
you needn't hurry while the two of us are still in the room. You ready, Dirk?
I believe so.
Okay. I guess I'll first go downstairs and simply ask the person at the desk, if the, person who had rented the presidential suite has come down yet. Receiving no answer, I will simply wait.
Oh,
The
sorry.
man just
Mic was
stares
muted.
at you.
Sorry. I was working on things, and so I had muted my mic. She'll say she had come down earlier, but went back up to her room.
This bitch ratted me out.
I told you. Did you not read the chat?
No.
I mean, she didn't say how much earlier.
She did not.
It's true, that's true. We're good, we're good.
I'll just say,
Nah.
oh, okay. Good. Is there a place down here that I can sit and await the team?
Yes, there would be like an eating area that you could sit and wait and order food if wished.
I like water. I will have water. Please.
All right.
I would like a water. One water, please. No cup.
Excuse me?
Okay.
I'm
So
kidding.
they'll go and get you a water and then come out and splash it in your face.
I just. I just got to thinking about the unit of water. As not at a point where we have bottled substances necessarily, although there are flasks and water skins. I don't imagine that they're going to mistreat me after our discussion earlier.
Indeed.
In any event, I'm going to sit and wait. And talk to Dirk. Dirk, sleep well.
Early on, it was a bit restless, but then things seemed to quiet down, and at the end, I think it was a decent sleep. Dirk will order the special
Of course he will.
for food, whatever the special is. He is ordering it.
Okay. It is a mug of dwarven ale.
I will not have what he's having.
What about food?
Well, it's the special when you're coming in at 4 o'clock in the afternoon.
4 or 5 at this point.
What your specials?
I mean, I did intend for food. I'm glad they
I mean, he says this, and I look at the mug. I'm like, does that not count? I thought that counted with dwarves.
This is a side dish.
Sweet water.
Oh God.
Appetizer.
How much was the special?
I'd say about 3 silver pieces.
Okay.
How much was the water?
It was basically free.
Water's free, dude. What the fuck?
It was on the house, and then there was a wink.
Pretty much.
Create
Spice.
water? Alright then. People who are not me.
There are many people who are not you.
It's true!
Once she got Vaz up and would join people downstairs.
So you've left Vaz in the room.
Oh no, she's gonna go back to sleep.
I swear to God, if you go back to bed.
I wouldn't do it on purpose. I would just sit down and things happen.
You sit down,
Vaz.
and suddenly time has passed, and it was great.
I'm very familiar with this.
I will stay with you if you need me to.
You're fine. You can go down.
The way you're saying that convinces me otherwise. I'm staying with you until you get ready.
Fine.
Deal with it.
I concede.
Dirk turns to Eskel and is like, the one good thing that I'm now realizing about this whole shift in sleep is that I can finally, once again, have something like this for breakfast. It's been so long. Most places just won't serve it that early.
Let's go downstairs before anything too stupid happens.
Let us go.
All right. Let's see. So you guys head downstairs, from my understanding.
Yep. And I assume we return our keys to the front desk.
You may. You don't need to do it basically till you say you're leaving.
Oh,
But of course, if you fail to return the key, they just continue to charge you for the room.
Give
yeah.
him the key. We don't have the money. Give him the key.
That would be a fun tab to come back to.
Oh yeah.
Just you don't go back to that inn.
Ever.
I mean, I still have my key, but I suppose if everyone's out of the room, I don't need it anymore. So once they turn in theirs, I'll turn in mine.
Yo,
All
wait,
right.
when's checkout?
Like 10 in the morning.
So who was down first? Because I said I would be going down as soon as I woke up.
You're probably down here in the lobby, then, because everybody else, we were kind of like a little after the normal wake-up time, since I went for the run, and people said they'd still be in the room when I got back.
And Al was reading up in their room, so she wouldn't really have a reason to go downstairs.
You were down here since any of the rest of us came down.
Yeah, at least. Probably before us.
Yeah.
When I came down, what was happening? Anything interesting?
The early birds were coming in.
To start getting sloshed.
All right. I can't wait any longer. I need to use the restroom, so if people need to use the restroom or grab a snack, or if they want to just talk in character, go for it.
Okay, just remember that you have a question to answer when you get back.
What question? Sorry, I missed it.
Thomas was asking you what was happening in the inn when he came down.
People were, getting food. There'd again be just one or two people, as it is kind of not like a meal time or evening or morning for people when people getting up or going to sleep.
Yeah.
Anyone playing anything?
Probably
Gambling
not.
or music?
Cards.
It's like 4 in the
games.
afternoon. Oh yeah, games.
There might be one set of people playing Gwent.
Eric, are you
Fucking
drinking
Gwent.
ale?
Hmm?
Are you drinking ale?
It's the special.
She'd look at you and then just shake her head. You
It
never
has all of
cease to-
the nutrients and carbs of your grandma's turkey dinner. 15% alcohol.
First of all, my grandmother is not alive. Second of all,
Whoa,
I don't eat turkey.
double
Did your
wolf.
grandmother?
Sorry?
I said, did your grandmother?
Did your grandmother eat turkey?
Oh. I don't recall.
Well, according to an ancient dwarvish saying that Dirk once taught me, and I mumble out some dwarvish, it's mostly accurate to what you told me, but I don't speak dwarvish, so it's rough.
What were you trying to say in Dwarvish?
I will send it to you because I don't know who else speaks dwarvish.
Oh,
Not it.
also not it. But I could understand it if I wanted to.
But you're also
Not here. Yeah, you're right.
not here. So, sorry to burst that bubble, Cole.
Dirk will say right here, as it is.
Like, Esco will, nod with half understanding as he's trying to remember what it means. He just knows that it's something you taught him to say when you drink.
Where was this said?
Right in the foyer.
Okay, because guess who speaks Dwarvish?
Uh-oh.
The human?
Me.
So yes, the human. Alright, I'll send it to you too.
True
I am
humans.
human. Am I the only human?
No, I think Amelie's human.
Way downstairs, yes. Possibly, I don't know.
I don't know that Amelie's downstairs yet.
What was checkout time again?
We're just
There
tomorrow.
was
Checkout time is 10 a.m. tomorrow.
Oh shit! Fuck y'all.
It's
Oh.
4 p.m. the same day that we arrived.
I paid fucking 10 gold for this room. I'm using it.
But we need to leave
Oh,
now.
And
Okay. There you are.
Your contracted mage is gonna start getting annoyed.
So you do not come down, is what I'm hearing.
yeah, I'm enjoying my room.
Does
Taking a
anyone
bath, whatever.
know where Amelie is? Anyone? No?
I was told that she is in her room. I'm told that she is in the building, that she went up the stairs, so I assume that she is in her room.
Got
Don't-
it.
Should we
Save.
go and see if she's ready?
I think I have a safer idea.
Oh no.
Go to the desk and I say, "Excuse me, Aurora. I think Derek still isn't here, so I'm gonna have to repeat this. Could you send someone to the presidential suite and inform the guest there that their party is waiting for them downstairs?"
What the fuck is under my foot? What is that? Oh my
You
god,
mean
it's the
D4?
cat.
Oh.
I
Like
went
a
to
D4 only pointier.
No, I went to stand up and I felt something warm and fuzzy, but like I'm on my blanket that's fuzzy and I was like, wait, but it's warm. Nothing should be warm down there. I reached down and it's the cat. I almost
Leo.
killed the cat.
Leo wants to be stepped on.
Leo, no, he does not.
Wait!
Please
No.
don't
Leo,
say that about the cat.
The anime character may want to. No, I think he would probably do the stepping, honestly.
I think that's what he wants everyone to think. But really,
He would absolutely step on Gallo. And Gallo would thank him.
I'm back.
There you are. So,
Fun. Phenomenal timing.
after some chatter in the room, Eskel is going to approach Aurora and say, "Excuse me, Aurora, would it be possible for you to send one of the personnel here up to the presidential suite and inform the guest that their party is awaiting them in the foyer?"
Sure.
Thank you.
And you'll just see her head up.
Serious
She
question,
doesn't have
though.
personnel.
Is she cute?
Going to leave 2 coppers on the
I
counter.
was joking earlier. Now it's serious.
And what was that, Ash?
Is she cute?
Oh shit! Taking
I'm not
what is
going
usually
to.
my
I'm
job.
just curious.
Can't believe it. I can't do it with this
mean-
character. How could you?
To be
I'd
fair,
say
I got to episode 21. Be thankful. Neat.
The answer is everyone is cute. For someone.
Alright,
Also
you saved
true.
it there at the end.
I'm cute!
You are
I mean,
cute.
Eskel, absolutely. I drew him, so of course.
Wait, are we judging the pictures?
What? No.
if we're going
I mean,
for the, I think Dirk is the cutest out of everyone here because I mean, like, he's just looking real sharp.
Oh, god damn
Oh
it!
my god.
God damn it.
Those are cutting words, sir.
Fuck off, both of you.
That was like a knife in the back. Betrayal.
You wound me.
Where did Derek go?
I don't know.
Here.
Are you going to talk to Amelie?
Yeah, I was just kind of waiting for a conversation to dead end because I was trying to see if Al was going to do something.
Not yet. Maybe.
Oh, I see.
All right.
Forgot
So,
Lovely.
No hoery today.
But to hold me paper.
Did I?
Yeah, you did. I just hung up on you.
My phone was on the desk.
I think he's knocking on your door, Amelie.
What? Who?
Your door is
Don't
being knocked up on.
hello. Did you ever give your name? I don't know if you did.
No, and that's for good fucking reason.
Unfortunately, Eskel did.
Well, he said it in her presence.
No, you didn't. When did you say my
He did
name?
That I assume you want your own room, Lady Amelie.
Yeah.
So, Lady Amelie. Hello?
Yes.
Oh, your companions are waiting for you downstairs and sent me to make sure you're all right.
Oh, thank you. I'm fine.
Should I tell them that you'll be down shortly?
If you like.
Is that gonna be a
Oh.
lie?
Yeah, that's pretty much where my head's at. Is that going to be the truth?
Only time will tell.
Okay then. Have a nice day.
And nobles
Thank you.
wonder why no one likes them.
Listen, 10 gold, dude. Stop, cat.
Lick.
The cat never. Oh shit! The cat's
Licking my
leaving her
blanket.
perch. Larry went to the bathroom, and now the cat is leaving her spot in front of his computer.
Uh-oh. You're
And
in
he's
trouble.
just gotten out of the bathroom too.
She's stalking over to you.
Fucking hope not, dude.
Okay, so she comes back downstairs and tells us that Lady Amelie will be down shortly.
She comes back down and says, I think she'll be down shortly. She was rather, vague.
Of course she was.
Okay. So as it turned out, I didn't have any copper pieces, so there's a silver piece on the counter.
Okay.
It's just sitting there. I don't know that she has any reason to believe I left it.
Okay. She'll look around. Did someone come through requesting a room or something?
No. You were only gone a minute.
She'll just kind of shrug and put the coin in her pocket.
Okay. I'm going to give Lady Amelie 10 minutes.
Lady Amelie will take 20.
So at 11 minutes, I'm going up the stairs.
Right, so what games are being played down here? And are being played for money?
There's two people playing a low-stakes game of Gwent.
That's a 2-player game, isn't it?
Yes.
Nobody's playing anything else.
Correct. The place is fairly empty at the moment. Aside from you guys.
Al would actually give Eskel back the book at this point. Because I temporarily forgot I had it. Thank you.
Alright. And what were you saying, Tanon?
If I get up and that's the only game I see, I'm going to ask if there's any place nearby where someone could bet on something, bet on games, join a game.
Yes, there is. The Temple of Avondra has usually has some games of chance going, as one of her aspects is the goddess of luck.
Excellent. Where is that?
It's not far from here to the, I'd say about a 20-minute walk to the southeast.
Okay. Then I'll just say, if my associates come down, tell them where I am, and I head off. So when you get down,
We would not see them.
It is number 9 on the map if you want to move your token there, Thomas.
yeah.
Alright, and now cue Eskel going up to Lady Amelie's room.
Anyone see Thenon?
He's
So
going
weird.
over to the Temple of
Half
Avandra. Lady Amelie?
Yes, Eskel.
We're, waiting downstairs. Are you ready? We need to
I
get to the...
suppose.
Go ahead.
I suppose.
Okay. We'd like to get to the Temple of the Raven Queen. They're awaiting us. They found a mage.
Very well.
I'm going to head downstairs. Make sure you hand them your key back.
Of course.
I'm going to head back downstairs, and I'm going to wait another 10 minutes.
What a fucking idiot. Just went downstairs and didn't wait for her.
Does she come down before the 10 minutes are up?
Yeah, I guess so.
What is happening? Oh, sorry. Excuse me. Carry on.
So, games.
Jesus.
What is it
Now,
you're looking
Kenon would be looking for games that rely on, like, deception. Because he's good at that.
Okay, so something like poker or something.
Something like that, yeah.
Alright, you'd be able to find something of that nature. How would you like this to work? Because I don't exactly have a gambling system.
I don't know. What
Do you have proficiency with dice or playing cards?
I have proficiency with Dragon Chess.
Okay, do you wish to get in a dragon chess game? As that would let you use proficiency.
Dragon chess?
Hey, I have one of those.
Can't use deception for.
It would be, I think, regardless, like unless you tell me how you're trying to cheat, it's just
I'm not
going
cheating.
to,
It's you playing the person, not letting them know what you've got.
well, then it would help when they try to like insight. Yes.
Hold on.
But the role would primarily be your proficiency with the game set in question, plus a acceptable attribute. In this case, probably wisdom or intelligence for dragon chess.
Is it straight attribute or is it skill?
It would be a attribute plus proficiency, since you said you're proficient with dragon chess.
Okay. Yeah, I'll play Dragon Chess, so.
Okay. Do you look for a equal opponent, stronger opponent? Like what's the goal here?
Oh, I just want to win some money.
Okay.
Easy money.
So then you can roll insight to try and pick out someone that looks like they'll be an easy target.
That's an 8. Why do I keep rolling 3s?
I don't know.
Okay, I'm back.
What level do I get that,
Reliable talent is 11.
11. Yeah, it's way up there. Okay, so he's gambling.
Yep. How much you believe you find someone that should be a fairly easy mark. How much do you wish to bet?
I'm going to bet a gold coin.
Alright, they're willing to bet that on a game of dragon chess. Alright, so make a roll with either wisdom or intelligence plus proficiency.
That is a 12.
Alright, he got a 14, so he's doing better at first. I'm not gonna have this be representative for the whole game. So roll again.
That is a 20.
Alright, he got a 17. So now you're doing better, so it comes down to the final roll here.
That is an 18.
That's also an 18. Roll again. Well, actually, no, because you have proficiency and he doesn't. I'll have that be the tiebreaker. So you managed to win 1 gold piece from your game of dragon chess.
I'm going to look for another opponent.
Okay, and I will come back to that in a
I'll give you
minute.
the insight roll now, just to have it. What's the insight on this one? Is a 9. Ooh, that's slightly better than last time. Jesus Christ.
Alright, so what are the rest of you doing while Thenon's off gambling?
I think that was everything that had been happening, because he came down, saw that there wasn't a game going on, and then went to gamble. So everything that had been going on between like when we came down and everything is at the same time, isn't it?
Okay.
Are the royal we aware of what he's gone off to do and where?
I believe Thenon said they went to tell somebody to let you guys know where he went, something like that.
You're on. What's her name? Aurora?
Aurora.
Yep.
Yeah, she was informed.
Okay. So I had to step away for a few minutes to talk to my mother, but I imagine at this time back in the Stumble Inn, Eskel is downstairs, everybody else is downstairs, and finally, Lady Amelie has come downstairs.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'm going to say, alright, are we ready to go to the Temple of the Raven Queen now? Is everybody here?
Where's Thunon?
Did he not tell you? He said he was going to the, and this is, of course, Aurora speaking. He's going to the Temple of Andra to try his luck.
Oh dear.
Who's he?
Oh.
Thunon?
So I don't think he ever introduced himself by name.
Yeah, but she can put two and two together of who's not with them.
Yeah, that's fair.
So Temple of Evandra?
Thank you, Aurora. You've been a lovely host. We must clear out at this time. Good evening to you, ma'am.
I gave her
You
my
may
key back.
wish to remind him he still needs to return his key.
You're kidding me. No, wait, he doesn't have a key.
He doesn't? He got
Wait,
his
no,
own
he
room.
does. Crap, he wasn't in our room. I thought he was. You gotta be kidding me. Okay. He'll be back. Does everybody want to go to the Temple of Andra to fish him out of it, or do you want to go ahead to the Temple of the Raven Queen while I go have a discussion with him?
I'll join you if everybody else will. Temple of the Raven.
Then let's just keep the group together.
Sounds like
He just sort of like looks over everybody and sighs. Never mind, let's just keep the group together. Alright, Temple of the Vandra. What do we need to do in order to locate our friend?
Probably just an investigation or perception check, your choice.
I'm good at those.
That's a very, very middle of the road roll. So that is a 12.
12.
My passive investigation is an 11.
Yep, so is
Finron?
mine.
Finron, what's your stealth modifier?
Oh dear.
+4.
+4. Then yeah, you're spot him. It's not actively trying to hide, so I'll treat it basically as just rolling a 1. So you'll be able to find him fairly easily.
Okay. I just imagine it's a big place with lots of tables of different games.
Yeah, it takes some time, but you will be able to find him.
Okay. And he is playing Dragon Chess.
Yes, he's on to his second game.
I have no idea about that. How close is this one to completion?
I'd say they're about halfway done. Speaking of which, Thanon, roll.
That's a 15.
Alright, he only got a 12, so you get the first one.
Another 15.
And that's a 5, so you managed to win this game as well.
I had been going to address him at the midpoint, but I guess he finished out quickly. So,
I just need to know what the thing would be, but this would still be at the midpoint when you're addressing him, but he'd be in like the process of winning.
I see. Lord Thunon, we are, the rest of us, prepared to meet at the temple. Are you quite close?
I'm just trying to secure some funds.
I see. Do you need much time?
How do you feel about gambling?
Not well, but then I prefer working for my pay.
Is Haskell here alone, or is the entire group here?
Everyone's here. I suppose just the one who's running himself ragged, trying to get everybody where we want to be.
He is our Lorax. He speaks for the trees.
Y'all are trees.
How long has it been since the mage was summoned?
At this point, like a couple hours.
How many hours?
Maybe 2. All I know is that he came and got me over an hour ago. I finished my run, and then all of this took place.
Did he say that she was already there, or that they had procured one and would meet you there?
And we'll meet you there.
Yeah, it was the second part, but it is unclear when you would be arriving, and
Yeah.
too coincidental to assume that we would arrive at the same time.
Yeah, no, for sure. I'm trying to determine if she is setting out to look for you.
Yeah, I just constantly forget that I have a herd of cats,
Meow.
and one of
I
them
have a
has
herd of
horns.
cats.
You're a goat cat.
I am a goat.
Yeah, I would say after about alright, let's say I got there about a half hour after this guy talked to you. If it's been an hour since then,
I think that's reasonable.
I think at the half hour mark of waiting, I've already got an unseen servant cast. I'm gonna send it out looking for you guys. I don't know that that's gonna do anything, but
How long
I'm getting impatient.
How long can you maintain Unseen Servant?
It's an hour.
An hour. It's a big city. It's possible that if it happened to search the right places first, that it could find us before its duration ends.
Yep. Kate, if you want to roll a percentile die and tell you what you get.
It can't really report back.
It cannot.
That's not how the spell
This is true.
works. It's basically like another kind of mage hand.
Yeah.
But it could,
Point me in the right direction.
if it were able to come back to you, which means it would need to find us in less than half its time. But it could, tap one of us on the shoulder, and we would have no idea what was going on, but it would be at least like that red string around the finger. You'd be like, need to hurry this along. Got a chill down my spine.
I have to
You could have it, deliver a note.
This is true. This is true. Alright, we're gonna go with it. I'll just say after 15 minutes of waiting, I started casting it as a ritual, and Okay. Percentile is holy shit 95.
Okay. Yeah. You do manage to. Your unseen servant does manage to find them. You're, of course, not aware of this, but as it's not able to make it there and back in time.
Oh shoot, I didn't say. I do send it with a note saying, "Adventurers, I eagerly await your arrival at the Temple of the Raven Queen. Signed, Melisari, Wizard of whatever."
At your earliest underlined convenience.
You get a sense from the note that eagerly is very stressed.
This does find us?
Yes.
Okay.
It'll find you, I'll say, right after your conversation here with Thenon.
I mean, I'm just gonna stand at the table until he's done.
Alright, then you'll find it while he's wrapping up.
Okay. Whoever's got it, I would request that you give it to Thenon.
Who got it?
How many of us are there?
A lot.
There's 6 of you. So...
What kind of
Let's-
chaos shit can we cause with this?
Oh dear God.
I just
Let's
don't want to
see.
keep assuming everything's coming to me.
It goes to Vasilisa.
Baz would poke her shoulder. Al would poke over her shoulder, though.
Bad that I'm just imagining the message stuck on one of her horns.
Yeah.
Gosh.
a
That's
bit.
horrible. You are mean.
Oh, the
Sir.
unseen servant was mean.
Yeah, he's not the one that put it there.
He's the one who had the thought. That is definitely not. It's handing it to you. I'm an asshole. I'm not an asshole like that.
I just like that there's this note floating around town, and then it just comes up to Vasilisa and puts itself in her hand.
I feel like this is a thing that may happen fairly often around here, though.
Unseen servants.
I feel like Unseen Servant is only arcane.
But like general
Okay.
magic-y shit. Like weird shit happening. People are like, alright, fine.
There's a lot of talking to God going on.
Yeah, but that makes sense. Arcane magic doesn't make sense.
Arcane magic is weird and doesn't belong here. There are Arcana clerics.
Fine.
Yeah, and those people are weird.
Oh my goodness. In any event, Vasilisa, you have a note.
Glad I could wait for y'all to finish. Just hand it off to Al.
Lovely. Let's get going as soon as possible.
I believe that was the intent.
That is why I am standing here, over the table, making him uncomfortable. I am saying this while staring at Lord Thenon.
Haskell, do you have a platinum piece?
No.
Shit. 9 insight.
9 insight.
Why am I rolling so low?
Well, even though I am bad at deception, that's still a 21.
Can't you not lie?
No, he can't.
Not for you.
There we go.
Say, not for you.
Fine.
Please conclude your game. There are others waiting on us.
Very well. Very well. So I finish the game up and then I excuse myself.
Thank you. Now then, we need to head over to the Temple of the Raven Queen. They've found us a mage.
Al would in her bag.
So if there are no objections, go there. You have what, Elle?
I would be folding the note and putting it in my bag, keep it safe. And just as a reminder, Thenon, you still need to return your key.
Yes.
What key?
The key to your room.
Room key?
Oh, well, fine. We can do that on the way back.
The way back.
And we're heading to that other temple, are we not?
Right, it's a little out of the way. It's not really on the way back, but we do need to stop there first. Did Al inform anyone of Vasilisa's note? Since I know Vasilisa didn't inform anyone.
I think she didn't say
Al
anything
said
about
we need to hurry,
Yeah.
basically.
That is, yeah. We need to get going now.
So, we drop off the key. And we go to the temple. Yes?
I'm getting... I have a flask. I'm just going to get them to fill it with Dwarven Ale.
Okay, that'll be, I believe, 3 silver, or, well, 4 silver.
Done. And then we're on the right.
On the way to the temple, I would like to talk to Duke Thenon.
Go for it.
Also, I would like to subtle cast Detect Thoughts.
Okay.
Alright. So, Duke Thenon, you're fond of gambling, are you?
It seemed an expedient way to make a bit of money. Seems we might need it.
What's he thinking about? What are you thinking about?
Exactly what he
Thenon?
said.
Just thinking what you said? Okay. Okay. And I noticed you went along when they went hunting. Are you fond of hunting as well?
Not especially, no.
What are you thinking?
No, he's not. Doesn't really care for hunting. It's not something he enjoys.
And your father taught you how to play dragon chess then?
No.
Oh. What'd you think when I said your papa? Who'd you think of? Who's your papa?
Oh my god.
I know, yes, if your father taught him to play dragon chess, he would have thought of someone who taught him to play dragon chess.
You know, who'd you think of when I said papa? Did you think of the old Duke, or did you think of somebody else?
It's a very fair question, because
Yeah, but like, I'm trying to think, I'm trying to think of how he would have responded to that, how he would have thought of that, because the question wasn't about his father, it was about the teaching of chess.
yeah,
Yes,
but,
but it
but she's
was
still
your father specifically.
Hmm?
I asked, did your father, like specifically your father, teach you about chess?
Yeah, but the thing is, like, if you asked me if
Mhm.
such and such a person taught me something, there's no guarantee that I would think about that.
So wouldn't you think of the person who taught you chess though, right?
Yeah,
Okay. Who is that?
I don't know. I haven't actually.
Okay. But it's not the old Duke, correct?
No.
Okay.
I'm trying to think of who would have taught him to play chess. I don't know. How does this? What do you get from the spell? Do you get like images, or do you get
Hang on.
sentences?
Look at the spell. Read it specifically. For the duration. Oh wait, nope. That's comprehend languages, idiot. Oh, that means I fucking cast the. Okay, detect thoughts. For the duration, you can read the thoughts of certain creatures. You initially learn the surface thoughts of the creature and what is most on its mind in that moment. As an action, you can either shift your attention to another creature's thoughts or attempt to probe deeper into the same creature's mind. If you probe deeper, the target must make a wisdom saving throw. If it fails, you gain insight into its reasoning, its emotional state, and anything that looms large in its mind.
I would point out that you can... the probing deeper doesn't require any chatter. You're just literally reading their mind and going deeper into their thoughts, but you can direct their surface thoughts with talking, and you are using the spell correctly in that way.
Right, that's how I'm trying. I'm trying to get the stuff to come to the surface that I want to know about.
And that is completely correct about how that works.
Okay.
The problem for people defending against the spell is that once you utilize certain words, they can't help but think them. Like, they can lie, but they will still think about them to determine how to frame the lie, and your surface thoughts will allow you to know what the truth is.
Also, this is to Derek. Would I know, like, how deep would be my knowledge? how deep would my knowledge of the former Duke be?
You at least know what he looks like and his name, neither of which I know off the top of my head.
That's
I
fine.
might have something written down there.
But would I know anything about his hobbies?
I don't know. I guess roll history.
Like, is he famous at anything?
Is he
Because
famous?
like Papa Papa du Saint-Clair is famous for being paranoid or some dumb shit.
All right. I'll leave this up to Thomas as he somewhat created this noble that he replaced.
Okay.
I don't really know the history here, so Thomas.
Wait, the father or Xenon? The father.
The father.
Did we talk about him? Because he died in a hunting accident. I think
Right.
we
I'm just
established.
asking because he was a noble. Like, would he have been famous for anything while he was alive? Something that would be common knowledge for Amelie to know.
It's a minor area, so it's a smaller family,
Mm-hmm.
and it's far enough away that you might have heard bits and pieces. Maybe like he's not a very big, powerful family from very close by, so maybe you've heard something. I imagine he might have been a bit loud. Maybe he was a drinker.
Okay.
He liked to drink. We'll say that.
Hmm. Ten.
And he was loud. You know Brian Blessed?
Would a 13 in history give me any more insight into the former Duke or no?
I'd say it should. I just don't know what to tell you. So you'd know to be a good drinker. He was perhaps a good card player, if that sounds okay to Thomas.
Sure, why not? Or if not a good card player, at least he liked to play cards. Maybe he sucked at it. He was very what's the word I'm looking for?
And you know that that their business that got them kind of the money and power to be nobility was that they produced a lot of wood and
Lumber.
things. Yeah, lumber.
Brian Blessed once boxed with the Dalai Lama.
What?
And he climbed Mount Everest, but he stopped halfway down because he met another climber who was dying.
I see. Okay.
Well, shit, I had more questions, but I completely forgot them during that interlude.
All right. Well, if you want, we could. Well, no, that wouldn't really work.
I can't really come back
This
to
is
it.
a trick you can always pull again later.
It's true, I can. I will, I guess the last thing I'll say is just that I was surprised that he went hunting, considering what happened with his father.
We needed food.
Any deeper thoughts there than needed food?
Surface thoughts.
Which I'm gonna dig deeper. What you feeling, buddy? Can you make that wisdom saving throw?
He is gonna know that you're doing it, by the way. That is the spell.
I mean, what's he gonna do? Stop me?
As a 20.
Bullshit!
17 on die. Plus a 3 wisdom saving throw.
The spell's
Oh,
over,
finally the
and
die are in my favor.
I'm walking away.
So am I where?
I believe so.
Yeah. But as soon as the spell ended, Amelie's like power walking to the front of the group.
And just as you turn out, we'll talk about this later.
Mm-hmm.
For future reference, I will say that particular technique will probably be more effective against NPCs, just because I, as the DM, will have a clearer idea of what their thoughts would actually be. So I just want to make sure that if this feels like a poor experience to you, that this should work. I'm not quite sure how to mediate it when it's between players.
Yeah, it's very difficult to think of what a person would be thinking on the fly.
We'll keep getting better. Alright, so if that is done, we get to the temple
Yes.
with our 10 remaining minutes.
Yep, and I'm going to have to try and speed through this. So, or we may have to just run a little long with Thomas having to leave. So, you get to the temple, and you will see Kate. Feel free to introduce and describe your character.
Righto. So you see an elf. Wait, what? Okay, what's the setup of the temple? I don't know where I'm sitting.
It's kind of a mausoleum type place, like, with catacombs and things beneath it. A place, designed for burial of the dead, along with preparation of the body in some, in some areas, along with, places for mourning and such.
Is the building that we're in primarily on the surface or primarily below the surface?
I'd say it's largely below the surface, but the building itself is like a full structure above the surface as well.
Mm-hmm. And where are we meeting? Below or above?
Above.
Okay. The ceilings here vaulted?
Yes.
Okay, so high vaulted stone ceilings. The cast of the place, dark, bright, light, gray, black.
Yes, except for the with dark over light.
Okay, so mostly dark gray stone, very gothic appearance, I assume.
Yeah, I was about to say, think fairly gothic or kind of similar to some Catholic churches type of style.
Are there any other people in here?
There would be some acolytes, and there would be Cleric Karik, who is the one who has gotten you on contract to transport this group, along with some of their soldiers, which would also be here.
Alright, so I suppose you see a tall thin elf sitting. I mean, obviously you can't get a total feel of how tall she is while she's sitting, but you know what I mean. Kind of stiffly on a bench off to the side. She's got a book in front of her, and she seems to be perusing it, but also glancing up around her rather frequently. Obviously, one of those times she notices you, presumably recognizes, I'm assuming she was told, drow, tiefling.
Yeah, the drow bit would be an important distinction to make at the start.
So she stands, or she tucks her book away first, then stands very straight and stiff again, still. Hands behind her back and says, I see you have at last arrived. Did you receive my note?
Eskel will meet your eyes. He is about 6 foot tall, wiry build, but armored in half plate, bearing symbols of Bahamut. His skin is like a pale mauve, and his eyes are a piercing red. He wears his hair in a high tail, and he looks very confused at you and says, "Note?"
Al would step forward.
Al?
5-5.
What'd you say?
Al would step forward, pulling the note from her bag. This?
Yes, that does appear to be my writing. It took you all quite a while to get here.
Unfortunately, I was not informed, and the rest of the group was not informed, he says, looking severely at Al, that a note had arrived.
I was going to mention it.
Before we got to the temple?
Yes. Quite.
But you didn't.
Anyway.
Indeed.
Now,
Sorry.
that is my bad.
I was summoned by the cleric of the Raven Queen, whom they sent out, and I informed my group, and we got here just as soon as I could get everyone organized. I am sorry if we made you wait terribly long. We are all sorry if we made the mage wait.
He sounds like a father scolding his children.
It feels that way.
As we cut eyes towards Al, like, are we sorry?
He's going to step
Terribly
forward.
passive aggressive.
That is disturbing. That teddy bear is so disturbing. Okay, anyway, sorry.
He's going to step closer and say, again, sorry to make you wait. I am Eskel, Paladin Bahamut.
Someone give me a last name.
Trenier.
No, my last name.
Oh, it should probably not.
Be Trenier.
Befar.
You have something you need to tell us? Let's go.
I apparently have a non-drow sister. Or
I was thinking of secret wife.
Surprise.
a secret wife.
Most certainly not.
He's like 19, I would hope not.
Arranged marriage that he didn't know about.
I definitely didn't. Did Srazar send you? In any event.
Okay, but seriously, I want a last name. I guess I can just say insert last name here, but it doesn't
Yeah.
have quite the same impact.
It doesn't.
Just like do a Google search, quick last names.
I didn't even. What's your first name?
Well, that's the point. I need to introduce
Melisari.
myself. Full.
Did I say it right?
Yes.
Yes!
I'm just sending words that I think can flow off of Melisari well.
I mean, you could be like Amelie and just have like 10 skajillion names.
Stop! Don't!
It's been so long since we used all of them, I think I've forgotten some of them. Oh well.
Don't worry, I can introduce myself using my full name.
Huzzah.
Oh, Christ. Wait, no, I think I know it.
Think you know what? Oh, the whole name?
Yeah, I think I...
Whole long ass noble name.
I only remember like
They come with
3.
kills.
Anyway. You'd think I would have been doing this earlier. I'm very sorry.
He definitely, like, enters a room and conducts himself as though he is unaware that he is a drow, as though this is not something that he has ever apologized for.
Paper, you have an obsession with V names.
I refuse to apologize for it.
It's fine. I have an obsession with French names, apparently.
It's a good name.
Yes.
Okay, these are good letters.
These are good letters.
It's good letter.
Ba,
So is Val. Val is just elf.
Oh god. Sorry, the generator I'm using currently suggested Sarsandaral.
Oh, I love it.
It's
It's
a long name.
You're a wizard, aren't you?
You're
That's
a
true.
wizard. Ba.
Oh my god,
Even
all
if it's not your birth name, absolutely, you have to rename yourself differently.
There
If
isn't
the
a V in your
Mary
first name, so it
anything.
it helps you not trip over repeated letters.
Okay. I'm going with it. Fuck. Did you extend your hand to shake or anything like that?
Kinda, yeah.
Okay. Then I will take your hand, shake it. Or not shake it, but, you know.
She
The
shook the poor sinner's
fancy-
hand.
What?
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 What did you
What?
say?
Said she shook the poor sinner's hand.
Oh dear god.
Ah!
We're back there again.
Put the gift back.
And say, Melisari Sarsandaral. Whoops. I can't even say my own name. Okay. Anyway.
He's going to hold eye contact for a moment and say, "It is a pleasure to meet you. May I call you Melisari?"
Wait, what was the last thing you said?
It is a pleasure to meet you. May I call you Melisari?
Of course. And the rest of you?
He will take a step back.
Al would step forward. My name is Al. It's a pleasure to meet your acquaintance. She would also extend a hand.
I take it and say lovely to meet you as well, Al.
She'd nod and step away.
Dirk Stoneforge, Paladin of Bahamut, and he will nod very
Stoically.
Gruffly?
Curtly?
Curtly?
Oh, Kurt!
Sharply.
Kindly?
like almost like he's not bowing, but like it's a fairly like purposeful nod.
Like, I acknowledge your
Yeah.
Distance.
selfness.
Yeah.
He doesn't mean to be short with you. It's just that he's a dwarf.
He is.
He has
he's
no
4'6".
other way to be. Anyway,
He's 4'6".
Uncalled for.
she'll simply nod back at him in a similar manner. And then I, the next person in line, I guess. Perhaps the tiefling?
Oh shit,
That's-
sorry.
Because she's the only other one who sticks out, really? She's not a human?
She would just wave. She's
This
not
is
friendly.
Vasilisa. Pardon.
Alice,
Shannon.
the one with the manners.
Dirk sighs.
Hang on, what was actually said in character there?
Nothing.
Al
from
would
now.
introduce Vaz. This is Vasilisa. She's probably one of my longest friends.
Well then, good to meet you, Vasilisa.
Would just nod.
And you too? Looking at the only two people left to introduce themselves. an eyebrow ever so slightly raised.
Thenon steps forward. The Duke Thenon Delta Free Floor Baton Bridge, at your service, and gives a perfunctory bow.
She gives a slight chuckle. Well, I suppose it's actually me who's at your service, isn't it?
I suppose we shall be at each other's service.
I hope so. And you, my lady?
I
Looking
am.
enough.
Yeah, I figured you were looking at me. I am Lady Amélie Eloise Noémie de Saint Clair of Venot.
Ah, I've heard of your house. It's good to meet your acquaintance.
Likewise. Alright, now what?
Trying to decide how to phrase my next stuff.
At this point, Kark will speak up. Masari here has agreed to cast teleportation circle from this scroll, and we can leave whenever you are ready. That being the royal you.
What is the, I was told that we were to pay our half upon our arrival. What is that?
250 gold pieces.
Normally, I would ask a minor addition for having waited so long. However, I have a proposal. I understand you are headed to Elysium and in search of a rather interesting person or thing, however you would like to look at that. I would like to accompany you, and I would knock off that surcharge and perhaps half of the fee.
You are well informed. Sorry. And I cast a glance at Karik. We do indeed seek a person of interest in Elysium. I would like to agree to this arrangement, but I need to know first what further service would be expected out of us. We have a task we are performing, and it sounds like your intention is to travel with us, so first, do we expect your assistance in our task, and then do you expect our assistance in yours?
I'm actually primarily interested in your task, as well as just generally getting the lay of the land and seeing what there is to see, so I am happy to just come along and assist you. The only services, of course, I would be expecting is we each do our best to keep each other alive, however that be.
That sounds like an accord I am very willing to agree to, but I speak only for myself. Dirk, do you agree that it would be Bahamut's will that we watch out for one another in dangerous lands?
Given the enemy we were going up against, I believe that any willing assistance to allow us to more safely and easily ensure the safety of others is appreciated.
Couldn't have said it better myself. Well, the paladins are on board.
I'll look to everyone. I personally see.
You're cutting out, Ash.
Speak directly into the mic.
I personally see no issue with it.
Good enough for me.
she'd look to Amelie and Thenon. What about you two? What's yours say?
In having
Melisari
join us.
join us.
I have no problems.
I see no reason to refuse.
And we are all
Very
in
well.
agreement.
I look forward to traveling with you.
Welcome to the team.
You as well.
Alright. If we can step outside, I took the liberty of having your horses brought here. So as long as we were waiting.
Nice.
We're acquiring new horses.
No, apparently someone believes that they belong to us, so now they are ours.
No, like just the two you guys had before.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
I forgot that we actually did own horses.
We did. It's true. There was the one with all the bags, and the one with the suit.
The one with the suit is the one with all the bags.
Oh. There's the one with the suit and the bags, and the one that Lady Amelie rides.
Alright. So, Kark is going to hand you a scroll, Melisari, and say, we are ready to depart when you are.
I need only what I have with me.
We're still needing to pay half of
250, so it should be 125. I can actually cover that myself, but do you want to split it between the two of us?
Yeah.
Okay. So, I will put up 6 and 3 gold, and you put up 6 and 2 gold?
You gave me more of the platinum when we first distributed things, so Dirk should put up more.
Okay. Then
So
I will
6
put
and
up
3.
6 and 2 gold, and you put up 6 and 3 gold.
Oh god.
What?
Math. Okay, hang on. 125, right?
Yeah,
Yep.
it's 12 platinum pieces
platinum,
and
then,
5
yeah.
gold.
I'm rich!
Yeah. We stopped being rich.
I am so glad nobody asked Lady Amelie for the money.
I mean, it was your family's money.
Yes, but I'm glad y'all didn't turn to me and be like, well, Lady Amelie?
I have an inkling that your funds are dwindling.
Technically, you guys didn't know about that other 10 gold that I spent.
No, we still don't. But you're always
No.
loath to part with it, so he had assumptions of his own.
Alright.
Oh, the Raven Queen guy.
Alright.
Cleric with you guys.
Yep.
Kark. Would have already given me another 250 too, right?
Well, if you're cutting it down to well, yeah, pretty much.
I can say cut the whole thing in half, that's fine.
But yeah, that means that you would still have another 12 and 5.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't go adding that to your sheet. I was going to count that as part of what your starting gold was.
Gotcha. Okay, that's
It
fair.
was a little higher than average.
Yeah. Oh, bollocks. Okay, there we go. That's fine.
Plus, having a 5th level scroll, which is it's above your level, so it would have been odd anyway. It's a 5th level scroll, which you can't cast yet.
Yeah, well, in the interest of story, that's getting waived for today.
Yeah.
You do it with help.
The help of me and my 10 unseen servants.
I mean, like, other people channeling magic in.
Yeah, I know, I'm kidding.
That's just you dividing your magic further.
I mean, technically, I can just make an ability check, apparently. Based on the house rule.
Yes, well, even without the house rules, since it's on your spell list, you'd be able to make the ability check regardless. But, yeah, I don't want there to be a chance of failure for this, because this is kind of what gets you in the party, and I don't want to leave that chance.
I'm just like, okay, stand back. So we're taking a boat.
And our money.
Poof, too.
I'm just curious for my own funsies. Spell was level 5, right?
Yep.
Yeah, it's a bit long spell.
Well, I make it anyway, so... I rolled
Okay.
a 12 one die.
Dramatic.
So, you cast the spell, and I presume you guys just walk through?
Yep.
Yes. Lead the horses
So
through.
you guys march through, and he'll be able to send a couple Raven Queen affiliates with you as well. I'm not going to put their tokens on the next map because, frankly, I'm lazy.
Also, overtime.
Yeah, and so what I'm trying to hurry this is there is one last objective that needs to be accomplished today.
Creepy forest.
And so you guys have arrived in Elysium through the teleportation circle that is currently below all of your tokens.
Just look around and say, you know, normally a permanent teleportation circle has a little more open space and pomp around it. If not even a little circumstance.
This is Elysium, you can't expect that much of it.
I've not been here. What do you know of this place, Melisari?
Oh, fuck me, really?
You just dropped a line that told me you know stuff.
So if you know anything from reading the docs, you can feel free to regurgitate that without a roll. If you wish to know more, you can give me a reason why. Give me a reason as to why you'd know anything of this place, and you could roll history.
Well, apparently I have an interest in undead and the like, so I probably would have studied up a little bit on Elysium at some point. With all the goings on there, so I guess I'll roll history.
Alright.
Nat 20.
Okay. So, what is it you'd like to be aware of? Like just general information, or
General information, and I guess sort of anything kind of explaining what I just said about not expecting much of pomp and circumstance from Elysium.
well, what you know then of that is that it is a kind of unexplored and kind of outcast area of the world where a lot of criminals are sent kind of in exile if they've not done things, heinous enough to kill them for. They kind of send them here to this rather monster-infested continent.
We're in Australia?
I was gonna try not to say that out loud, so I typed it.
I was not looking at the chat when I said that.
Alright, I will just sort of keep it simple and say, it's not exactly the most civilized locales in the world. all the monsters and criminals running about.
You can call it a cesspit.
Did you say that in character?
Yes.
You could, but I don't think you would.
Melisari
sure there
kind
are
of
some that
smirks
would.
a little and says, I would not use those specific words, however, it does get the point across.
Better to be direct.
This is
All right.
fair.
So, you guys will hear from this guy over here who's kind of keeping watch over the gate. Are you the ones from the Isle of Heaven? You don't
Yes,
look like
sir.
our usual reinforcements.
Oh, there is a source of this voice. There he is. Reinforcements. We are from the Isle of Heaven, however, we have our own mission here. We believe that completing it will be beneficial to you, but we are not direct support to your efforts.
I see. Well, we'll have to talk to the Hierophant about that. Open the gate. Let him in before something shows up.
I believe we should move, people.
Indeed.
So this guy's going to pull a lever and open the gate for you guys.
Those
I want the
Inside.
first one in to be a drow running past him.
I do not run.
Lady Amelie
Not
also
do
does
that,
not run.
Esco.
Granted,
Whoa.
with my long ass legs, I probably don't have to run to keep up with you.
Yeah. Since, most of these guys would be aware of you since the Raven Queen's newer than you are to the Isle of Heaven. So I'm not going to have him attack you, but if you do that pretty much anywhere else, that would have gotten a sword in your gut.
I mean, he was
I got
at the
armor.
front, and when the dude looked at us, because I assumed they can see everyone who pops out of the thing. They did see a drow, so him just walking through the gate isn't probably when they would shoot him.
would have been on site.
That
Would they
arrow
have
just...
paused, though, to see all the other people with him?
Oh, look. Amelie brought the horses. I'm glad somebody was thinking about it.
Do I have
my God,
control
it's
over
adorable.
horses? I don't think I do. Oh, I have control over one of them.
Sweet horse has always been Eskel's baby.
Hey, that's my horse.
Like how everyone can control Amelie's horse and not the other one.
No,
I
that was
said
Eskel's
no.
baby. Why would we touch Eskel's baby?
I can't control my baby. And I still can't ping.
No one can control a baby.
Oh.
All right.
I can control my baby.
Oh dear.
No!
It's like,
No, stop going out in the woods! The gate is closed!
Anywho,
it's like you'll need to
Oh, Jesus.
talk to the one in charge, and he'll point you over to the command tent off to the left there. Well, right if you're entering, but left from the map.
we go over in that direction.
I know it's Thomas.
What's happening?
Fucking with my horse.
I got distracted by my Anomalies pretty pinging.
Yo, where's my fucking horse? Oh.
You're apparently in a very bad position.
Bonk.
Cheese.
Don't let him get the weapons.
Warhorse.
I see. Our reinforcements and yes have arrived from the Isle.
Indeed.
You are Eskel, are you not?
I am Eskel Trenier, Paladin of Bahamut.
Oh, good. Otherwise, I'd have to have you shot.
Well then,
Paladin of Devotion to Bahamut.
I think that's the reason he didn't shoot you.
Your devotion to Bahamut is not exactly subtle.
It is rather hard to miss the symbols all over the armor.
I thought he's got the other armor on.
Oh, right. I forgot about that.
Did he not get... Oh, the new armor. Yeah, that's right. I was supposed to say, did he not get the Bahamut symbol painted on there?
I mean, I could have done.
Poorly.
Poorly?
You remember when you first got your armor? You're like, symbol of Bahamut, and they came back with a fucking stick dragon.
Yeah. That guy probably got fired.
I don't think he did. I think
He
got
got hired. He got a raise.
For the record, that's what the camp started to come out with initially, and then you shoot them back to go do it right.
Yeah, I did. In any event, no, if it is, if such commentary is being made, I will turn to the others and say it is important to declare your oath as well. It helps people understand who they're dealing with.
Yes.
My oath is of devotion.
Sorry for the, I guess, impolite commentary, but there are, as these woods are darker a considerable portion of the day, there are a number of your kind running around these woods that do wish us harm.
You are doing the work of your god, and I understand what that is.
Now, I was told there were some clerics with you that were to reinforce my numbers.
Are there clerics with us?
Yes, there would be.
Oh, okay.
You remember they were just not given tokens.
Right.
because
I
that's what-
point to them.
It's like, it seems we're one short. Is she not to... And pointing to Vasilisa, is she not to be joining us?
Sort of turn toward her with large eyes and say, "Is she?"
Is she?
That was the understanding I came to with Karek.
Yes.
We're as short-staffed here as it is. We need as much help as we can get.
Eskel just continues to try to hold her gaze.
You see, they really need the healers, and y'all will be fine, right? Like, you got your new friend.
Be
I'm
fine.
not exactly a healer, though.
Yeah, I bet Eskel heals just fine.
I was unaware we'd be parting so abruptly.
You know, I wasn't aware either, but that's just how life goes sometimes.
Yeah.
I'll do better. I'll do more good here.
Sorry, Paper, this is abrupt, but we are a half hour over time, so I'm just trying to get this done.
I understand you have your duty goddess to perform, and I would not think to stand in the way of that. He's going to extend a hand to Val and say it was good to work with you. You helped keep a hand on the reins.
And she'll just reach out and shake it and probably smile for the first time since y'all met.
We'll be passing back through I'm certain we'll be back this way. We'll look for you.
I'll see you then.
Safe.
Al would look to Vaz. You mind stepping aside for?
She'd just nod.
She'd walk past Amelie slightly more quickly than her normal walking pace.
As Vas passes, Amelie will comment, you know you can't be picky here with your healing.
You've never asked me for healing. So I don't know why you think I'm particularly picky.
Amelie's just gonna chuckle and look away. Whatever you say, Vasilisa.
You never asked, bitch.
You shouldn't have to ask, you're a cleric, bitch!
Oh my god.
Fucking have one all-out war before you leave.
How was I supposed to know you were injured?
I was bloodied, hello?
I didn't see it.
Vaz,
Perhaps you should get
Blood
your
must have
eyes
been all in
checked
your
while you're
mind.
here.
I'm going to miss you. I hope you know.
Sorry.
You'll catch me again.
I'm aware, but still.
Stay safe. Don't kill the princess.
No promises. I'm joking. I won't.
Yo, am I within
I just-
earsight of this?
Your sight. My ears can see this.
You know what I mean.
Oh god.
You are within earsight, however, you are not within earshot.
Okay, that's... yeah. Alright.
My cat is
Yeah, no.
concerned.
Al would hug Vaz and say, don't get into too much trouble, and I'll inform your mother wedding. Decided to stay here if we end up back that way before coming back here.
I'm sure she'll appreciate me not gallivanting off into Elysium after a death night.
I'm pretty sure she will be very glad to hear that. I'm gonna miss you, kid. I'm calling you kid because you are how much younger than me?
I am 19, I think.
Oh god.
What? We're the same
Yeah.
age?
Darling?
Babies.
Oh, wait, I think I'm actually 18.
Oh,
Oh,
baby!
Wonder.
Wow.
Too young for me.
Children.
Stay safe.
I'll do my best.
May the Raven Queen guide you wherever she sees fit.
Raven Queen's gonna be guiding her to death.
That is the
Guide
goal.
us all to death in our time. Staring very meaningfully at them.
Al would shoot Sun on a glare.
Ow.
Don't shoot that on, he's another nobleman.
A glare!
Shoot that on. Do it. I dare you.
Alright.
Level up, I would evade that glare.
Mika.
Glare of death.
Unless there is more to be said to Vasilisa, I believe we're done here.
Dirk will wish her well in the service of her god.
Right. And with that said, to be informing the audience, Vesilisa is leaving the campaign, possibly for now. We'll see how events unfold. But as far as we know, it's for the foreseeable future. And so that is why this particular session has stretched, but we need to get to this point. And so
We'll miss ya.
We'll mess with
It'll be
Kyla.
fine.
indeed. You're always welcome back if you wish to return. But should circumstances allow. Anywho, that is it for this session. Hope everyone's had fun. And I'll see the rest of you next time.
Alrighty.
Interesting place. It's all like that.
It's gross, don't die.
It's gross. Full of monsters, supposedly.
Gonna catch diseases and shit.
We're paladins. We can't do that.
Undead
This
diseases.
is true. Totally immune over here.
Okay, well the rest of us are gonna catch diseases and shit.
Have you
Probably.
tried being a paladin?
I have zero interest in being a paladin. All too stuffy.
I wouldn't call Dirk stuffy.
Dirk is
All
not
too
stuffy enough.
stuffy, says the prissy ass wizard.
Is the live stream over?
Oh, I guess it should be.